The gigantic Chinese economy is dominated by state-owned enterprises. They command the heights of the economy, dealing with finance, transport, oil, the banks, things like that. Also on the ground, state-owned enterprises run hotels and they manage and build and sell property developments like the ones behind me in Beijing. Now, great things have been achieved. Healthcare has been extended to most of China, which is incredible for this vast population. China has more electricity than the United States, but there are also concerns, and there's been these bouts of reforms which are a recognition that the state-owned enterprises aren't competitive enough, they're not efficient enough, and that's a worry when the economy is slowing. These SOEs receive various benefits in terms of regulation, but private returns are still better, and many SOEs have now been listed, which means that they are basically aiming towards being run like private-owned entities anyway. Still, the plunge on the markets last week, which was only curbed by explicit intervention by the Chinese government, has caused a massive concern. Local governments were also selling debt based on this property bubble, these huge prices, and those have plunged as well. So there's huge concern about government debt. So can we, as South Africa, take the good from the state-owned entities in China and forego all the bad? That is the question.
Well, I think that it would be a wrong assumption to imply that Western companies are doing better than what is happening in a place like China. In fact, there is growing consensus, even amongst conservative economists, that China has managed to develop to where it is now because it ignored the fashionable advice that was given in the early 1990s to say privatize your state-owned enterprises, get rid of them. China decided to keep them in the hands of the state but reformed them to be able to operate in a different environment. That is why China actually even survived the worst of the 2008 financial meltdown. And now there is increasing belief amongst many quarters, that actually balanced economic development in the current conditions may come better through mixed economies rather than economies that are completely in private hands where the state has got a very minimal role to play.
At home, the National Development Plan highlights the very importance of small and medium-sized businesses to create jobs. None are here, not even South African. Big private business is here. The focus is on state-owned enterprises. At the dawn of democracy, the ANC was talking about the developmental state. Some say that South Africa has suffered because we abandoned that idea too soon. Others believe that it could be dangerous for us to look east now, especially because our own state companies haven't performed very well. What is certain is that the South African government is currently looking for a new balance. Francis Hurd, SABC News, Beijing, China.